Hi there. The next permanent ink I'm gonna review is also from the German manufacturer Rohrer Klingner, located in Leipzig, what used to be the East Germany. It is also an iron gall ink, in German Eisengallus, and this is the Salix version. In a previous video I have reviewed the Scabiosa version, which had a sepia tone. This one has more of a blue dark tone, at least looking from the color on the label. This is new to me. This is the first time I'm gonna try this, and the bottle is sealed, and I'm gonna share with you the first experience with these inks. After I ink up the pen, I will also we'll do the water test with a normal ink and compare how waterproof this is. So let's start. For this I'm gonna ink up the pen. The pen is from Visconti. It's a Visconti Rembrandt version. And we'll ink up this pen and we'll do a writing sample. Interestingly, from the color of this ink in, let's say, on the cap, it looks blue, like Königs blue, or that you typically find in Pelikan inks and so on. But let's see how it looks on the paper. Let me ink up the pen. All right. As you know, the iron gall inks have been known for a very long time. People have stayed away from them because in principle they could corrode the pen if the metal parts are not very well passivated chemically. Rohrer Klingner claims that these inks are safer because probably they added lots of inhibitors on them. You can also see the blue color this Salix ink has. It's a blue-black, blue-dark tone here. And many people recommend actually to keep a good pen hygiene, to wash it at least once a month if you are planning to ink up these pens with a iron gall ink. Of course, permanent inks can be made also differently. Iron gall, it means that it contains gallic acid and versions of gallic acid which may form a certain complex with iron 2, and once they get in contact with oxygen, iron oxidizes, form different complex that binds to the cellulose of the paper, and in this way they can stay on they are chemically bind to the paper, and they can stay for a very long time without degradation or without being able to remove it with water. This is unlike normal pigment inks that contain pigments either in the form of particles or some dyes that have no chemical interaction to the paper fiber, so you can wash them very easily with water. You can remove it. But let's do a writing sample of this iron gall ink. For this reason, I'm gonna zoom in the camera so you can also see. I will focus now so that we can see the text that I'm gonna write. Good. So this is the Rohrer. I hope you can see that. And Klingner. Wow, I'm actually quite impressed with the nice color. This is the Salix version of the permanent iron gall inks on offer. As you see in my other video, the other version is Scabbiosa, more of a sepia tone, but in my opinion this looks, this color is a little bit more official, let's say for notary office or for an official signature on a contract. And the pen is a Visconti Rembrandt medium nib. So we are going to compare this ink. We're going to do a water test and compare it to a regular ink from Pelikan, and that is Pelikan Blue-Black. You see they are similar in color. They look like this is a little bit darker than this, even though this is blue-black. But in this case also the pen saturation matters, and that means by saturation I mean wetness. Also Pelikan M800 that I'm writing here, Pelikan 800 fine nib. It is also a very wet pen, so no complaints here. I think the real tone of the color is really light blue. The other one is a little bit darker. So for the water test I've prepared a vial here, water vial, and we are going to add several droplets with an eyedropper on each of the inks and see which one will smudge first and which one can be removed. So let's start first with the Rohrer Klingner, the Salix version. I'm gonna add several droplets on Visconti Rembrandt. I hope you can see it very clearly. And now I'm gonna add some water droplets on Pelikan non-permanent ink, and let's see how this behave. So the lensing effect on the produced by the ink allows one to see very well that both inks started to smudge. Let me try to zoom in a little bit further. No, that's the maximum I can, but I think you can see it very clearly that both they kind of started to smudge and the water droplets started to color. Of course, the idea of the permanent inks is that they need a little bit of time so that the chemicals, the iron 2 is oxidized to iron 3, and they produce this complex that then bind to the cellulose, so it takes some time. They really become permanent with time, more permanent with time. But I think the reaction should be produced already from the beginning, even though not completed. You can see that now the non-permanent Pelikan Blue-Black ink started to smudge even more. And next we are going to rub on the surface. I'm going to rub with my finger on the surface of the paper and see if the ink remains. So I think now the Pelikan Blue-Black ink, the droplets colored much more. Probably they started to disperse the pigments from the ink much faster. So I'm going to smudge now the ink and see what's left behind. So you see that the text is almost gone. It's almost unreadable. Now I'm going to do the same, wipe on my finger, and I'm going to do the same for the Salix Rohrer Klingner ink, and let's see what happens. Oh, nothing happens. So of course the background has been a little bit colored, but in principle the text is very well distinguishable, so nothing happened to the ink. The text cannot be removed. If I leave the ink much longer on the paper, it is very likely that this coloring of the background will not happen. So this will stay, the text will stay as is, and I think you can use it with confidence for very important document that you need to sign, or something that you need to write, and you need to do that to have it in a permanent way. So that was my review of these inks, and thanks for watching. Until next time, bye bye.